Okay, perfect. So excited to get started with you. We're going to be talking menus today. I get a lot of questions about this, so I want to cover some information about how to get them set up to land sales on autopilot for you because I think it's really important. So let me just double check we are live. Perfect. Okay, I can see myself, I can hear myself. So if you do show up live, go ahead and throw up your hashtag live. Throw up a hello. Let me know that you are here for the ride today. You can also throw up your hashtag replay so that I know that you've seen all of this on the replay. If we have never met before, hello, I'm Melissa Fryer with Build a Better Bakery. What I like to do is help bakers discover more of their confidence. That can be kind of an issue in our industry. So I help people feel good about what they're doing and also to hold on to joy because we get super busy, things get complicated, we get tired, and keeping that joy alive, doing what feels good and best for us, I think is really important. So I try to talk about that a lot too with you guys. And also just to make a sustainable income, whatever that means for you, it might just be enough to take a trip for the year. It might be to support your whole family. We all have different financial goals, but I want you to be able to have income be a part of what you're doing, thus the business aspect of what we talk about. So, as I mentioned, for the theme for February, we're focusing on quick tips to landing more sales on autopilot. You can go back to the videos linked in the featured section on our YouTube channel to look at each of the other topics that we've covered this month. And today's topic is solid menus. So, let me know in the chat, do you already have a menu? You can put a one if you have a menu, you can put a two if you don't have one yet. We'll kind of see where people are as far as, are people using and creating menus right now or not? And today is all about the power of this specific menu. I want to talk about a few parts that I think are really important to make sure that they are funneling for you and they're landing those sales on autopilot, which might look a little different for each person. It's a simple, effective, and necessary tool for client attraction. So I want to make sure that we all are kind of on the same page about what the few elements that need to be in there. And again, my goal for this month's content is to give you some ideas to set up little small parts of your business 1 week at a time in the background on autopilot so you can get more sales with less effort, because I think that's really important. I love efficiency and I love talking about that part of what we do. And also, feel free to share links if you already have menus made and you think it looks pretty good. Feel free to share here. People can head over to your website or wherever it's listed, and they can go check it out and see how you've made yours. All right. So if you want to stay in the know about these lives, if you're new or you need a refresher, you can check the events in the group. I usually post at the beginning of the month what we're doing for the month. And I come in here every Thursday at 9 a.m. Mountain Time if I'm home, which is most weeks. They should be up there. So you'll see the one more for this month and then a whole nother set coming in a couple days showing you what we're going to talk about in March. You can also send a friend request to Melissa Fryer on the Facebook platform to get invites to these as they are happening live. You can hang out on our email list. You'll get direct replay links set at a later date as I'm creating the emails. So they're not invites to the live sessions, they are replays of what happened. Or you can subscribe to our YouTube channel where those are also replays, but they come more quickly and they are more of like a videography set, right? You can go through and search by either playlist or keyword and find different videos that way. So that's a good place to be too. As I mentioned, I'm here live Thursday, 9 a.m. Mountain Time every week if I'm here, which is most weeks. Sometimes I'll even leave a recording if I can't be here for some reason. So it's usually always at 9 a.m. though. And I'm here just to make sure you're getting new, fresh content. I want you to feel like, we're talking about important things that are going to make an impact for you. And it's not always like a video from 3 years ago. I want it to be more consistent and more current. So that's why I'm in here with you every week. Okay, so let's hop right in with our topic for today, which is a solid menu. Okay, and if you have comments or questions, pop them in while we're going live or later, and I'll come back to the video. Number one, do you even need a menu? I mean, a lot of people are like, hey, I don't really use a menu. That's not how I sell my stuff. Totally get it. Generally, I would say yes. Even if it's a menu for generating quotes, like you have to still custom quote, but you're giving people an idea of what you do. And maybe you're not necessarily selling something outright with that menu. It's more to give people an invitation to what you're doing and how you work. It's meant to help clients self-select. So really it's kind of saving you time. We want them to begin the process of talking with you only when they have decided within themselves that you sell the right products, you're the right caliber of worker, you meet certain criteria that they have, all of that. Because your professional time is really important, and as you get going with your baking, you're going to realize you really don't have a lot of it. So making sure that that menu is helping kind of like weed out the people who aren't good fits, that's what we're hoping for. You want the best caliber of clients to be talking to you so that almost every time they speak to you, you're landing a sale. As a newer business, I would highly recommend having some kind of branded menu because you won't be riding on clients remembering who you are, your past sales or products. Because if you haven't been around very long, they haven't had a chance to buy anything from you. You'll be continuing to educate the local community for a year or even longer. So making sure that they know who you are, they see you a lot, that kind of thing. It's really important, and it could depend on your area. You know, if you live in a small place, people are probably going to hear about you pretty quickly. If not, it might take a while. So we just want to make sure that you're visible and people, can stay in touch with who you are, even if they've never bought from you. Once you have a following of regular people who are consistently buying, you might be able to list a few products with just words or wait until the last minute to do a pre-sale or flash sale. Yes, absolutely. But in general, the answer I would say is yes to having a menu. Two, what are the components of a solid menu that sells on autopilot? Pretty simple. I'm going to lay them out for you here. So get a notebook and pen if you want to write these down. The first is from a client's perspective, if we're thinking about viewing a menu, um, might not be like the sexiest part of the menu, but I really want you to pay attention to the colors and the font. Okay. So these have to be easily readable. Even if like your brand colors are red and orange, putting orange text on red background, red text on orange, we have to make sure that it even looks okay, as far as just being readable on whatever platform it is. So online, digital, print, whatever. Because no matter what, if they can't read what you wrote or see what you put down there, it's not going to matter. So the basic level of visually cohesive, or just the colors make sense, they don't hurt your eyes to look at them. The type isn't this crazy cursive that nobody can read. That's the top priority. So no matter what you say, no matter what you put on it, it has to be readable. Two, this is where the shopping with your eyes comes in. Okay, so in food, buying with your eyes, shopping with your eyes, tasting with your eyes, that all happens first. Especially if you're not there with them, they can't smell the cinnamon rolls. They can't, smell the bread baking. If they're just looking at a menu, start with their eyeballs. And that means you got to have photos on these babies. I see a ton of menus. Now, granted, they might be from bakers who have a strong following, who kind of already know what your stuff looks like or that kind of thing. But I see a lot of menus that just have writing. And I'm guessing it's because they don't have photos of the products. They don't feel comfortable taking photos of the products, etc. I get why it is, but I'm telling you that having the photos is going to help you sell more on autopilot. So if that's the whole point of this video, it is that photo sell. So we need to get some photos on there, but not just any photo. It's got to be in focus. It's got to be bright. It can't be fuzzy, on a dirty counter, that kind of stuff. Like we have to formulate the photo. But it's just going to help a lot. So having that on there, I think, is really another top priority. And if you can get like a little saucy picture, like maybe something that's been cut in half, maybe something that's adorned with some, toppings, that kind of thing, it's just going to get clients more excited. So having that on there is a great idea. Additionally, having a little bit about each item, a little type. So this could just be the name if you have some fun names, or just a name in general for the product. It could be a short description, you don't have to write a paragraph about each thing. It is good to mention certain things if maybe you have a community that has allergies or, dietary restrictions that you hear a lot about. Like a lot of menus will mark their products that are vegan, or a lot of menus will mark their products that are gluten-free, because they're trying to educate people and trying to set expectations so that when people go to order something, they're not let down by like, oh gosh, I thought that would be gluten-free, or oh gosh, I thought that would be nut-free, that kind of thing. So, that might be helpful as far as when people are looking through your menus. Then we move on to prices. I get this question a lot. Should I put prices on or not? I think that the trend I'm seeing is not necessarily just bakers, but people, service providers in general. They're doing this thing where they're going on social media and they're posting about something and then they're saying, they just say, "Hey, I'm going to provide this service." And then people are coming to the comments and they're saying price, 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 because they've made an offer, but they haven't said what it costs. So people are asking how much it costs. And I'm assuming they're doing this because they're trying to beat the algorithm, have people comment, so more people will see it. And then a lot of times in the comments, they'll respond with sending you a DM, sending you a message, because again, they want people to continue to comment and start conversations over direct messenger. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I think that people are kind of over that. I think I've seen multiple people say, I don't even comment on those anymore because it feels scammy. I'm gonna let you pick your battle with this one. I don't do that. I understand why people are doing it though. Um, that's just not who I am. I'm not interested in the wheeling and dealing kind of thing right now. So do what you want. Prices or not, that's up to you. You can have a starting price if it's quoted. You can have like a general price range, whatever you need to do, or you can have no prices and you can be quoting people and sending people prices on the DL. Do your thing. I'm just telling you that I'm seeing people getting upset with that, buyers. So whichever you want to do. And then lastly, you have to brand your menu. Like it has to be branded, especially if you're going to post it places where you are not. So if you're posting it in a public place, like on a cork board or in a group that isn't yours, if you're posting it anywhere that isn't branded your space, then definitely the branding needs to be on the menu itself. That includes contact information, links or QR codes or whatever, because the main purpose here is getting people excited. Okay. So they can see it with their eyeballs, they can read it, it looks fun, good, delicious, fun, whatever. And you want to use the menu as a funnel so that people decide, oh yeah, that looks good. And they fall into the funnel and then they move into an order or to some kind of situation where they're getting closer to your business through email list or whatever it is. Because we want to make sure that they can do this within just a few clicks. That's why I say QR code, because it's really like turn on the camera, click the code. That's 2 clicks to get to where you want them to be. And they're going to get distracted if there's like too much typing or things like that. So if you can get them in less clicks, that's always a good option. Hi, Ange. Good to see you. Hashtag live. What are you doing today? You baking? Let me know. I think I might start sourdough later. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. And then number 3, how long should the menu be? I've talked about this before. I don't know if you've seen those videos, but in my opinion, a 1-page classic menu, that's like your go-to menu that's available most of the time. And then a complimentary set of seasonal menus are where it's at. One, the classic menu is around all the time. You don't have to keep changing it. People, when they see it, they know exactly that it's your menu. You can change it if you need to, but what I'm saying is you can post it on your socials and on your website and not have to continually go back and remove it because things aren't on the menu anymore, that kind of thing. And then the complimentary seasonal menus, those are fun. You can do whatever you want. You can change things. You can use the same seasonal every year, spring menu, fall menu, that kind of thing. Can be holiday menus. To me, that's where I feel the most comfortable. This allows you to always have that classic menu on hand. So even if you don't offer it during the seasonal menus, people will start finding their favorites and they're going to start relying on that. Just like when you go to your favorite restaurant, if they were to remove like that one top selling item from their classic menu, it would break your heart, that kind of thing. So you want that loyal following for your classic menu. And the 1-pager, it's really just for efficiency and to reduce confusion. I've seen a couple bakers this last place I lived, they had this really long menu, which, okay, but they would share it on social media and they would share it and it would be out of order. It's confusing. It's like, am I looking at cookie flavors? Am I looking at cake flavors? I can't really tell because the menu is like 6 pages and it's not in order and all of that. And especially if you were to like print it out and give it to somebody or put it up somewhere, think about all the room it would have to take up. You couldn't just like put it sitting up on a table kind of thing. So it's just easier personally. And then when it comes time for your specials, you can change it out for the seasonal menu. You can have both available. whatever. This helps generate extra interest over those seasonal periods because you are taking products away. They're available for a short period of time, but still bringing those popular hits back for the seasons. And then you can connect those menus through branding and photography styles. So they still look, even though the seasonal ones are changing, they still all look like they belong to you because of your branding. And it may seem wild, but people will sometimes come to you, like years separated, asking for some kind of product, even if they don't buy from you regularly every week, that kind of thing. I once had this lady ask me, I think it was like 4 years. She bought something and then 4 years later was asking me, hey, during Christmas, you made this thing. Are you going to make them again this year? And it just honestly shocked me that she remembered and was like interested in buying again after that span of time. I guess maybe time flies for some people, but I mean, it does for me sometimes. But um, so having your seasonal menu reoccur is totally fine. People will look forward to it, even if it's a whole year separated. We'll look forward to seeing, hey, is she bringing that thing back this year? Or is he going to bake that bread again this year? That kind of thing. Okay, so to recap, a solid menu is a great way to funnel clients who are already primed, who they're self-priming by looking at the information on the menu to purchase your products. So it's kind of like a little salesperson for you. They've read what you had to write. They can see it, right? They've seen examples from your photos and they've decided you're the baker for them. You could even throw a testimonial or something on there if you want some like social, whatever the term is, where other people say good things about you. You can put that on there too. They have looked at the menu, decided, yes, please. They've seen your contact information. You have your branding, so they know it's you. And they know exactly how to order because you've put that on the menu, or exactly how to get in touch with you or follow you or whatever it is in the easiest way possible and the least amount of clicks. And that part is your job. So just figuring out, how can I set this up? What website do I need to set up? What QR code do I need to make? That kind of thing, to make this just as fast and simple as it could be. So if you bake, I think some sort of menu is necessary. Maybe not every single person, but I really think that something like a brochure type thing is necessary to help educate your future clients and attract more attention. It's just kind of a good thing to have. Solid menus need to be easy to read. They need to be interesting to look at, and they need to direct you to products within 1 to 3 clicks. That's like the super hard basic of a solid menu. QR code would be considered about 2 clicks, right? Because you got your camera, you put it over the thing, click camera, and then click the code that comes up. That's 2 clicks. So that should get them right to like ordering page, or right to your menu on your website or your Shopify. I don't know what people use, wherever you want them to go. Okay. And then I do think 1-page classic and additional 1-page seasonal menus that come and go over the year is a sustainable menu plan that you can keep up with, personally. Making tiramisu. Ooh, that sounds good. I thought about making that. I saw some stuff at the store for that, and I thought about it today, and I did not do it. So kudos to you. I'm sure is it for you, or are you selling it? I'd be eating that if I was making it. Okay, so anytime I talk menus, I also want to bring up what I get questions about, because it's like almost immediately I'm getting messages or comments about these things. But I can't seem to get a good picture of my products. How can I do it? I only have a phone. That's a pretty common one. Or I'm not sure I'm doing branding right. What is branding? What does that mean? But what should even be on my menu in the first place? I don't know how to pick products. I don't know how to set up like a good value ladder menu, that kind of thing. Or how can I get the menu down to just 1 page? I make so much stuff. That's a big one too. And because of all of this, I want to kind of wrap it up into a bow and make sure you get exactly the answers you need. So we're setting this up in the March bite-sized workshop format. It's going to be the $20 workshop in March with a bunch of bonuses. They're going to be worth more than $20, plus the 1-hour session. It's going to be where we're going to cover all those questions I just listed and more, either between the bonuses that come with it or the workshop time itself. Either way, and you get to ask questions. So you get literally like submit a question and I will answer it in full in the workshop. You can pre-submit it so you can think about it for a minute. So everything's going to get answered in there. The bonuses included are going to get you even more mentorship. So you get extra mentorship and support as you discover how a simple menu how simple it can be once you make a few key choices, which we'll go over those, and then you just hit repeat. So menus should not really be a problem for you after this workshop. You can head over to the website to grab a spot for that menu mindset workshop in March. I'm going to give you a link for that here so that you have it. Um, hmm. Well, it's weird. It doesn't want me to. Here we go. It was just too small of a window. Okay, that's a lot of writing, but anyway, that's just describing this menu workshop if you're interested in it. And meanwhile, while you are there, you'll see that we're focusing first on pricing mindset this coming Monday. So that's the one that's happening for February. And this one's a great TLC moment for any baker who tends to notice negative self-talk coming up or feelings of fear around pricing or quoting their work, getting sweaty, anxious, worrying about what people are going to say, thinking you're going to lose the sale, that kind of stuff. There's some things going on that can be shifted because that's probably not going to get better on its own unless you honestly work with a mentor or a coach who can tell you ways to get out of that cycle because it's something that's happening in your own head. It's likely not coming from the outside world. And so that's really something that has to get worked on to free you from that. It's pretty painful. And I don't want you to have to feel that way just trying to make an income baking because you don't have to, it's something that feels bad like every time you do it or most of the time. You don't have to do that. And it's really often just these small mental shifts. It's like these little ways to think about something differently that can give you that stepping block to get out of those feelings. So you can remove yourself from those feelings once you can see it in a different light. And I want to lay it all out so that you have it and you can return to it. And it's kind of not therapy because I'm not a therapist, but like kind of a little bit of a therapy session around those feelings you might be having. You can move into a more confident professional mindset once you've got these in hand. And you can absolutely move from feeling bad and being worried about charging for your work to feeling proud and grateful instead. There's just a different way to look at it that I want to share with you. It's really a beautiful thing and better for everyone involved. And if you can believe it, it's actually better for your clients too. You'll get better, more happy clients when you've made these changes. At least that's what I've seen over the last 20 years. So I want to share all that with you on Monday. And as always, you'll love these workshops or you'll get your funds back. I'm not in the business of like grabby. We want you to be happy when you're working with Build a Better Bakery, and we want you to feel like you're getting value. So definitely you'll see when you click that link, you'll see both workshops are still open. If you want, there is a bundle as well where you can get the one from January and the next two for a discount. So you can get all three if you want to do that. And that's how it'll be set up every quarter. So go in there and get it if you need to. I'll keep it open until about midday on Monday. So if you have to wait, that's fine. But if you do it now, you'll get to answer. I'll send you an email where you answer your question that I can, or you submit your question where I can get you an answer in the Q&A, especially for those people who can only come to the replay. You'll still get your questions answered. So that's a good way to get some mentorship, even if you aren't available. It's from 4 to 5 Mountain Time in the evening. So I want to make it so that if people work, because I know a lot of you guys have second jobs or third jobs, that you can still come. Usually people are more available in the evening. And if you don't like the evening times, let me know. I can put it during the day as well for next month or next quarter. Just let me know. Okay. It's Friday and Saturday special that I run in my bakery. Ooh. Well, your clients are lucky. That sounds yummy. All right. That's it for me today. That's all about the solid menu topic. I'll be in here every Thursday this month at 9 a.m. Mountain Time, right in the main discussion area to talk more about quick tips to landing sales on Autopilot. Next week is all about the alluring paid Facebook ad. I also get questions about this, boosting ads, all this stuff. I want to talk a little bit about why Facebook ads are paid, kind of what they're made of, what they can do, etc., pros and cons, and what it might mean for automating sales for you. If you don't know anything about paid ads, it would be good to join. If you've done them and they didn't really work super well, it would be good to join. And I'll also take questions during the live. So that's what we're talking about next week. Make sure to mark yourself as going on the event in the event section of this group to get it. You should get an automatic Facebook reminder. I think they usually come about, I think it's an hour before the start time. Which I think, in my opinion, is a little too far ahead, but you should get one of those. Okay. All right. Hope you all have a great day, and I will see you all later. And I hope you have the best day today. Okay. Bye.